Hey guys, I'm Adam here at Top Dog, about to do a little training protocol video for you on a feeding method that we use. Now, this specific method I actually started doing about 10 years ago after a trip to the zoo. When I was at the zoo, I noticed that some of the gorillas and even the lions, the bears, things like that, I noticed that none of those animals there had bowls the way that we feed dogs. And I thought about that a little bit and I realized, with those animals, the goal is to offer something a little bit more enriching than just plopping their food down in a bowl right in front of them. And I found that a lot of dogs really benefit from having a more enriching opportunity to look and hunt for their food. Dogs are animals, even though we sometimes categorize them as furry little humans, they're still animals. And just like those animals at the zoo, they really benefit from a more enriching opportunity. Now, this isn't necessarily something that I think that everybody has to do with every single dog. Winston's a dog who specifically needs a job in his life. He behaves better when he's working and when he's having to work for things in life as opposed to just having everything in life handed to him for free. And so what you're gonna see is a time-lapse video as soon as I'm done talking here of Winston hunting for his food. And I want you to try to count the number of places where I've hidden food around the yard here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Winston up and then the time-lapse will start here in just a second. Thanks and enjoy. Hey guys, that was super fast. So what I actually did is before I let Winston go out there, I went around and took a little video to show all the places where I'd hidden his food. So check that out now. Okay guys, I'm actually going to do a quick walk around to show you all the places where I've stashed Winston's food. You can see one on top of the tunnel, one in the tunnel, one on the platform here, one on the first rung of the A-frame, up top, back of the A-frame, one on the catwalk, and one over here on the concrete pad. So hopefully Winston will be able to find all these. Alright guys, so you got to see the little behind the scenes of where we had hidden the food and all that good stuff now, and you got to see the time-lapse video of Winston going and hunting for his food. That time lapse in real time was just under 5 minutes. And Winston's getting pretty good at that game, so we're able to stretch the time out a little bit more. He's been doing it for a little over a week now, and when we first start off, we actually let the dog see us hiding the food in various places, and we make the food really, really easy to get to. And then as the dog gets better and better, we start getting the dog out of the picture and then bringing them into the picture and tell them, okay, go find your food now. And it gets to the point, they pick up on that pretty quick, and now I can take Winston out there. He hasn't seen where I've hidden his food at all. I take him out, say, okay, go find your food, and he goes and finds it. The better he gets, the longer I can make him hunt for it. For example, my dog Zane that passed away earlier this year, when Zane was in his prime, I used to sometimes make his food really, really difficult, so that way he'd really have to burn off some energy while he was out looking for his food. Sometimes I'd make it take, I mean, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Sometimes I make it take like upwards of an hour for him to find all his food. I would just stash it in little bitty places. A lot of times I would just take and sprinkle his food in the grass, so he had to go pick through individual places to be able to find that food all over the place. And what that does is it allows the dog to really work for their food. So I mentioned earlier how I kind of came up with this idea. Now this is something that a lot of other trainers do as well. I didn't know that until just a couple years ago. Some folks call it feeding the chickens, because when you watch chickens out in their yard pecking around looking for the food, things like that. I just always used to call it enrichment feeding, because we're trying to make it more enriching, a more enriching activity for your dog. Just like at the zoo. The zoo, for the gorillas, they're going to hide the food underneath logs and rocks and things like that. And so the gorillas really have to hunt around and look for their food. And same thing for your dog. Your dog is a predator. It's used to having to go out and hunt for his food. Or I guess I shouldn't say it's used to it, but instinctually, it has those instincts built in. Every single dog, it's in every single cell of their body to have that desire to go out and hunt for their food. So if you've got a dog who's got some excess energy, or is maybe displaying some unwanted behaviors, this is definitely an exercise that I would recommend that you incorporate, because it gets your dog out there doing something that makes sense to them. they need a lot of times to have that fulfillment of hunting and looking and searching for their food, and then they find it and they get that instant gratification, that reward from finding it. Now Winston is also doing some other things. He's working for the rest of his food through obedience and other drills. But this is a really beneficial exercise that you can do with your dog to help burn off excess energy physically and mentally. You'll find that you actually have a calmer dog by doing an exercise like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed doing it. I actually do it on a very regular basis with all of my dogs. And then we also incorporate it on dogs that we feel like really need that extra emphasis on working for things. Enjoy and have a great day.